guys, it's Leith with Access Real. We're down at Supanova Comic-Con and Gaming Expo. We're talking with Colin Donnell here. Colin, how you going?
Good, man. How you doing?
Very well. How was Sydney?
It's been amazing so far.
Yeah.
Sydney was amazing. City was a blast to walk around. Had a great weekend at Supanova.
Yep.
And it's fun to be in Perth now. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we're very happy to have you here.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Now, before your big TV roles, you were pretty active on the stage. Is that right?
Yeah.
Musicals.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about getting into? I think it was Wicked.
Yeah, I did. I did Wicked on the road. We toured the U.S. I was with that for about a year.
Okay.
And that was really where I got my start. I mean, I did everything before TV. TV's a relatively recent deal for me.
Yeah.
So I started in theater, and specifically musical theater, singing and dancing. And
so it was those roles that kind of propelled you into TV?
Yeah, it was. I did some. I started out in ensembles and did that for a few years, and then got a big break being able to do Anything Goes, the last revival of Anything Goes with Sutton Foster and Joel Grey in 2011, and that ended up, in the middle of that run, I actually did Arrow.
Yeah.
Did the pilot of Arrow.
So how did Arrow come about, and how did you get cast into Tommy for that?
Put myself on tape, and that was it. I went into a casting office in New York, and we put on tape, and then next thing I knew, they'd send it off, and then there was an offer.
Right.
It was like unheard of. I couldn't believe it.
I was
I was sort of blown away by the whole thing.
Happy.
Yeah. I think I probably popped a couple of bottles of something that evening. Yeah.
Well, it was an exciting time. That's the start of the Berlanti TV universe.
Yeah, I don't even know if we really knew what we were getting ourselves into when we first started out, but we knew we had something special.
Yeah.
When we shot that pilot, it was cool.
Yeah, and how you've done the season, you've done Tommy's arc.
Mm-hmm.
How did it leave you feeling? Were there some extra things you would have liked to done? Are you pretty
I've
got
no.
And
I think certainly the way they ended up handling his departure from the show, to put it mildly, was pretty great. It was if you got to go out, you want to go out in a big way, and I think they really made it count. I mean, which is pretty obvious actually. I think when you find that a character is still kind of fresh in people's minds 5-6 years later, it's amazing to me.
Yeah, he's instrumental in Oliver's development. So it's not like he's not forgettable at all.
Yeah, I know. It's not forgettable because they keep mentioning his name, which I love. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. So you've had a few appearances since then. Chicago Med's the big one.
Yeah.
Now I read you didn't have to audition for that. How did?
How did that come about? It was. I had a meeting with Dick Wolf at some point. I had done Brian T, who's also on the show. He and I had done a pilot for NBC that didn't go to series. Fortunately, unfortunately for the show, but fortunately for us.
Yeah.
And then, unbeknownst to me, I guess we'd been on the radar of that whole team, and so when they were putting together the full cast for Chicago Med, our names were tossed into the mix, and it worked out for us. I mean, again, it's one of those things where you can't really believe that it's actually happening.
Did you leave you feeling pretty confident?
Yeah, well, I mean, I
was
thrilled, and it was I think any actor really would jump through hoops to get on to one of Dick's shows. He just has, there's a certain quality of television that you're walking into, and also a quality of circumstance. We have an amazing group of people on set there, and all those shows, we get along really well, and we all love going to work, and it helps you create some great television.
Yeah. It must make the transition from Arrow to Chicago pretty easy.
Yeah.
How do you find the fan interactions at conventions between your Arrow fans and your Chicago Med fans?
I gotta be honest. I like every one that I go to. It seems, we're kind of hitting the sweet spot of Chicago Med being on the air for more than a couple seasons. Since we're going into our third. It's awesome to me that people are now coming up. It's almost, I think, equal, and it's pretty cool. I think the Chicago franchise with Fire and PD and Med, there's a lot of similarities between that and what has happened in the DC TV universe that Grant Berlanti put together.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
you got
the
an
way they
extended
all
universe
interweave
going on,
and so it's it attracts the same kinds of fans who love to, you know, immerse themselves in a whole, big story that goes beyond just one television show.
Yeah, and you've moved to Chicago for
We're
filming that?
Yeah, my wife and I are part-time in Chicago
Okay.
when we're shooting, but we're based out of New York still. So.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So what's your typical week like when Chicago's in full production?
Oh man, it's busy.
Yeah.
We're pretty full on there. We're not as we're pretty lucky because most of our filming takes place on the stage. So in the dead of winter, which I know Australia knows nothing about what a real winter is, and I'm a little jealous of that. But when we're we like to consider ourselves sort of the princesses of the Chicago series, because while Fire and PD are like going out into the bitter cold and it's like negative, I don't know, it's freezing cold. We're like, oh man, my scrubs are chafing. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go put on my pajamas and I'm gonna go sit inside of a nice warm studio. Bye guys.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for talking
man,
with us.
pleasure.
Hope you have a fantastic time here in Perth. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, of course.
Great.
Thank you.
Cool.
So what is it you do?
I'm a driver. He has a hum in the drum. Plays music to drown it out. And that's what makes him the best.
Your name's Baby. B-A-B-Y, baby.
That's why I'm out of here, baby.
One more job and I'm done.
I'm not doing this without you.
I'm out of here, baby.